24 hours with JB. Let's talk. Ramadan Mubarak to all of the Muslims worldwide partaking in the holy, even the non-Muslims, right? Ramadan Kareem. The blessed month of Ramadan is simply that, a time for family, a time for praying extra, right? Extra prayers, just a reset, if you will, a cleansing of the body, a cleansing of the mind, a cleansing of the soul. Can you dig it? That's what Ramadan is about, man. And it's always a blessed one for me because I'm with my family, I'm with my tribe, my household. You know what I mean? Even as we speak right now, everybody is out in the other section of our home prepping, setting up decorations, etc., etc. I've been prepping for some time now as well, and I'm just in good spirits and good mood, in a good mood. You know what I mean? Striving to rise above the madness, learning every day, asking myself, where did you go wrong? How can you be better? How can you be the very best version of yourself? Where are all four of your kids at in life? Where is your wife at in life? Right? How's your relationship with your wife? How is your relationship with each individual kid? Which kid needs you more? Which kids need you more? Right? How do you divvy up the love? Right? How could you be better? Where did you go wrong today? Where are you holding yourself accountable? That's where I'm at with it, man. And right now, to be honest, I'm in full dab mode. You know what I mean? Very comfortable, as you could see, and just loving life, counting all blessings, man. All blessings I'm counting. Ramadan Mubarak to all of the Muslims fasting out there. Ramadan Kareem to the non-Muslims who are partaking in the blessed month of Ramadan. Um, Even for myself, like the first one or two Ramadans, I want to say I wasn't Muslim. You know what I mean? It took me some time to even reach that pivot, to reach that level, to reach that height. But slowly but surely, I just see myself getting closer and closer. And now we here, beloved, probably a decade or so later, right? So, and now look, I got kids named after the Quran, different Islamic names and things of that sort. My whole entire household were Muslim, and it's a blessing. It's an honor. It's something that's heartfelt because it holds me to a certain standard, right? Every step that I step, every time that I open my mouth, pause, it has to be intentional, right? I have to be direct. I have to be impactful with everything that I do. In other words, I have to keep that chessboard out and move those pieces periodically, right? Throughout the day. And that's how we on it, beloved. Black excellence, right? A black king is who is standing or sitting as of the current moment before you, man. And at times, I'm not gonna lie, I'll share this with y'all. I didn't plan on doing so. I was going back and forth, but the other day I had a mental breakdown. Came out of nowhere. Came out of nowhere. My wife was like, "What? What?" And it's funny because I had told her prior. I was like, "Yo, mentally, I haven't been 100%. Like I feel when it's off, when my mental is off, it doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? And with that being said, I was sort of feeling that way. A large part of it was due to the weather, traveling with the kids, etc. Especially during the snow, the ice, back and forth. It was a lot, man. It was a lot, and the burden was heavy on me. I'm not gonna lie. I complain. I wasn't gonna say I didn't complain much, but I definitely complained. But I stood tall throughout the day. My kids are my lifelines. Like everything in me is what my kids represent. You know what I mean? So when it comes to my family, when it comes to my tribe, when it comes to my household, I don't. I'm very much intentional. You know what I mean? I put them on my back when need be, regardless of the day, regardless of the moment, regardless of the time of the year. And I feel as though that's something that I'm obligated to do, not just now while they're young, but when they're older. You know what I mean? Throughout the duration of my entire life, I plan to do that. Now, granted, there'll be pullbacks and they'll have to walk on their own one day, yes, inshallah. But as long as I'm here, beloved, I'll always be there for them. I'll always keep a door for them. When I get that compound, they will always be able to come in. I'll always have an open door policy. You know what I mean? And a large part of that is due to trauma and certain things that I went through in life that I still go through to this day. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to go through anything negative, and nobody wants to uh, be the uh, the outcast, right? The black sheep, or anything of that sort. So I'm always heavy and big on the mental health, the support, the guidance, right? Even when my kids do wrong, I still strive to circle the block at the end of the night or the beginning of the day and figure out what was going on with them mentally. How could I have handled the situation better, right? Am I missing something as an adult, as a black man, as a leader, as a follower? Like, how do I make things better? How do we get over this hump, right? And oftentimes I just strive to reset myself and teach and learn, right? Maybe my kids need to be around me more. For instance, yesterday I had my two oldest boys with me, right? My two oldest princes, I had them with me. Come on, we out. We about to just, y'all hang with me for a minute, right? Respectfully, mommy don't need to be around. Y'all just need to be on me because I see both of y'all are starting to step into your own beings, and you two especially need my guidance, need my teachings, right? Now I need to see what it is to move like a general. So thus stay with me. And all we did was wash clothes, go to the supermarket, we did a few other things, right? Supermercado. I've been practicing on my Spanish. But nonetheless, with that being said, them being around me, I'm able to we don't do that. That you shouldn't do that. Right? How do you spell that? What does that say? Read the instructions. If I weren't here, how would you handle this situation? Right? All the above, it's all learning experiences, right? For myself, because I learn as I teach, and for them as well, because they're learning throughout the current moment. As I always tell them, I'm not going to be here, right? So thus take these teachings and use them to your benefit, if that makes sense. Yeah, it does. But aside from that, man, I just wanted to check in. Um, love yours, right? It's a lot going on in the world. Rest in peace to anybody who may have lost a loved one. You know, congratulations, salutations, and blessings to anyone who have brought a new life into the world, into existence. You are your biggest supporter. You are your biggest believer. You are the one who can move mountains, right? Through the grace of the higher power. And with that being said, use that focus, use that higher power, use that grit, use that determination to continue to knock over anything that's in your way respectfully. Respectfully. Don't get hype. Don't get emotional. Nah, beloved. Sit back in the cut and do what you do, which is be great. That's all you can do, right? Be great, because that's what you're destined for. Tap into that greatness, beloved. It doesn't matter who is rooting for you or who's not rooting for you. Root for your damn self, beloved. You know who you are and what you are here to do. So thus do it, right? Just do it. Shameless plug. Shout out to Nike. I got Nike in my portfolio, so I'm gonna let y'all slide with that. But I do need that dividend on deck when on the dividend payment date. I can't even make a video without talking finance. But with that being said, beloved, count your blessings. Love on your loved ones. For my parents out there, We make mistakes. We are far from great. We want our kids to be better than us. Well, at least I do. And with that being said, work on yourself on a daily basis. Evaluate yourself on a daily, weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, semi-annually. At some point in time, evaluate yourself and ask, where am I at? Where do I want to be? Where are my kids at? Right? Life only gets more, let's say, structural, right, as time progresses. And with that structure comes more discipline from you, right? With that structure comes more adjusting from you. With that structure comes more patience from you, right? And with all that being said, as long as you're here, beloved, any and everything is possible. We are capable of overcoming any obstacle in our way. When we sit back and think about all that we have overcome thus far, we say to ourselves, damn, I never thought I never thought I would have made it, but we did. You did, I did, right? And as long as we keep fighting that fight, as long as we keep running that run, beloved, say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Rest in peace to Jesse Jackson, Reverend Jesse Jackson. Keep pushing forward. Keep loving you. Keep it positive. And don't respond to the naysayers because they're watching as well as listening. Don't let that go over your head.